Welcome. Today I want to dive into karmic blocks and karmic tests and this type of experience where you feel like you are onto something, but something is in the way. It's not quite fully landing. You may have a very strong vision, a very clear idea of who you're meant to be. It's like everything in you is like, yes. And yet, the 3D reality doesn't quite reflect that. What's the matter here? Welcome, beautiful humans. I'm very happy to dive into this very real kind of work that invites us to make our hands dirty and get real about where we are sabotaging, where we are dwelling in the patterns. Thank you, Claudel. Hi, Wendy. Yes, live. So happy when you're joining me live. So let's get into this real conversation. And I have some solutions. If you found yourself like, it's not quite landing, it's not quite happening, I have something for you. So just recently, I've run this big masterclass. Who has been a part of it? Eye of the Tornado. We had over 1,500 people registered. There were lots of people live in every session. We were going into activation practices. There were like things shifting just like that. People were popping, experiences were landing. You were experiencing more aliveness. You were experiencing more stillness. Like there was shifts taking place. People were experiencing sacred union. And I feel really good when I am with big groups of people. For me, it's like when we are together in this work of pure liberation, like this is my happiest place. This is like the thing I am born to do. There's zero doubt in me about that. There's zero doubt in me about the impact I'm here to create. There's zero doubt in me about my supreme destiny, what my heart is beating for, who I came here to be, how I came here to serve. And yet, after this experience, I've experienced quite a significant dip in my energy, in my inner state, and I went into some dark places. For a few days, it was not all dark, of course, I was still doing things. I performed in a stunning castelo here in Portugal. I did beautiful things. I was with beautiful people. And yet there was a process that really took in. Not because of anything particular happened, but actually because of that expansion. Because there was this expanse of consciousness. When there is this expanse taking place, what should happen, very likely, if you are someone who has a big vision, who is here on a big mission, who is here to create something big, to make a big impact, to really support humankind in attuning to our supreme destiny of bringing heaven on earth, of bringing the new world. When your consciousness expands, you are inevitably going to see the blocks, the shadows, the outlived patterns that are sitting there in your subconscious mind, that are sitting there underneath the surface. And so booking a retreat venue, having everything prepared, having people coming, boom, having a major accident, ending up with 7 stitches on my foot. Coming up with a whole new vision, seeing something magnificent, getting this when I first time got this vision of creating temples all over the world, when I am asking for permission from the land to do that, offering blessings, boom, I fall and twist my ankle. Big expansion, big vision, big events, then boom, a collapse, challenges in relationship, depression, apathy, turmoil, confusion, shape-shifting from everything that was constricting, then expanding into something so much bigger than what I dared to hold, and then finding myself in the dark night of the soul. So I've been through all these things multiple times with the stitches, with the twisted ankles. Oh my gosh, like my students know the whole thing with the feet. It's like, that has been like, there was a phase in my life, there was always something with the feet. And then the phase finished. And then something else started to happen. And whenever we experience these kind of things, and let me know if you've experienced some, I see some of you are mentioning here, have you experienced something like that? You are onto something big and then shebang, like something just, shit hits the fan. And if you are like sensitive and tender in your being, you may question, like maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign I should not do it. Why everything goes wrong suddenly? It felt so good, I felt so powerful, and then shush happens. Like, what is this about? Does it mean I shouldn't be doing it? Or does it mean something entirely different? Let's explore that. So there is this thing. It's called karmic blockages. It's a very esoteric concept, but I think we can talk on this level, yeah. And also karmic tests, also very interesting thing. So just now, yeah, with this recent experience that I've not only run this big masterclass, but I've also landed a whole new vision after a whole year in the void of hibernation from the beginning of this year, of like really like, whoa, what are we doing? Where are we going? Like something has to be born, and I could not quite figure out what exactly is being born. Then during this masterclass, something unlocked for me, and I got this new vision, and I got this like very beautiful model of how I want to bring forth what I'm here to bring forth. And then this thing happens. This like turbulence and like inner stuff just starts to come, and tendencies coming up, and patterns that are like, oh, so just exhausting. Why? Because there's more space of consciousness to clean up anything that's in the way of that big vision. Because big vision does not just land and here are the steps. You may even see the steps, but between the steps, there is cleanup that needs to take place. And where are those karmic blocks coming from? They are coming from past lives that you may have no memory of, and you may never find out, but it doesn't even matter. It's not about going into the story. It may come from childhood, wounding and stuff that you had to live through. It may also come through your lineage, through some curses that your ancestors have experienced. And in some cultures, it's stronger than in others. And there is really, like witches who were burned on fires. We know about that in history. People who just didn't know how to hold their emotions and would curse others because they were hurt somehow, and something that you did out of ignorance in previous incarnation, not even from a bad intention, but just from pure ignorance. And then it's still there. It's in your field. It's something that has to be washed. It's something that has to be cleansed. And people who have something big to do will have those big karmic things coming up, and it feels like I really like see who I am. Like I know who I am in truth. I know like how it feels. I know how it looks, and yet I cannot land it. What is happening? It's like there is this thing that is so clear, and here's my current reality, which does not quite fit with that. There is this space in between. What is this? And it really has this weight. It might feel like weight on your shoulders. It might feel like a burden. It might feel like just a thick wall. It might feel like a cloud around you that just doesn't quite let you move through. It's like there's a layer. What to do? What to do? Definitely not give up. Definitely don't let your mind tell you it's a sign I should not do it, and then I need to spend another half of my life doubting and doing this and that, which they think that my heart is not beating for, and heart things that I'm just not being lit up by. Definitely not that. What to do is to clear that karma, is to really gear into your highest becoming, your supreme destiny. And this is my deepest desire for all of you, so that you fully release anything that's in the way between you and your highest truth. Because, not only because I love you and I care about you, this is, yes, given, but even more so, I really care about the evolution of humanity. I really care about where we go as a human race. And it's a part of the reason for my incarnation. It's a part of the reason why my heart is beating, perhaps the main one, in fact, that we all go where we are meant to go, where we all go. And this life is fully dedicated to that, so that we all go into that place of fields of peace, that we all go into that place of experiencing, living heaven on earth, living this new world. And so that's why I want to serve and show up in every way I can to support the release of anything that's in the way and the alignment of every person I can touch with that which they came here to serve. Because we are doing this together. It's on each one of us. The clearer we can be in our true place, the more we have capacity to have our minds clear, our hearts pure, the more we have this ability to be in our truest place, in a place of love, in a place of transparency to the divine, the more we have ability to not be veiled by the illusions, by the karmas, by the blocks, the brighter we shine as humankind, and the more abundance, the more love, the more beauty, the more wealth, the more totality is accessible to us. So what do we do? How do we do that? We work on clearing those blocks. And there are different ways to do it. Healing is a part of it. And at the same time, it also needs to be done in smart ways. Because we don't need to waste time. Because some things that sometimes I see people spend years and years on, I see things change within a week. Like things I see in my in-person immersion, it's like they change in 1 week. Things that people were holding for a whole life. I see that all the time. And so there are more efficient ways because we don't have to suffer. That's the thing, that suffering is optional. We will have that pain of those birthing pains, because this is what this is. It's like birth. It's like you're birthing yourself. You are revealing yourself from this depth, from the void, from this place where all the pieces are flying and circling around. It's like you're birthing yourself as one piece, as this supreme destiny embodiment. And so it hurts. Pain is real. You know, this last few days, there was a lot of pain for me on various levels. Physical, emotional, there's like all of it. And at the same time, I did not allow myself to suffer. I just go in the pain. I experience it. I'm feeling even the fear of going into it, and I feel the fear as well. And I let myself be in a murky, messy place. And I come out purified, because throughout this time, I've been intentional with my practices. So practices help tremendously. There is this healing work, yeah, and at different phases of your life, you may need to dive into that healing. There's also this activation work. There's this work at the level of the third eye, and that's the cycle we are entering in right now in all my containers, and starting with the sanctuary, which is my new container. Just now, just before the live, I was sending them the context for what we're doing together and why the work on the third eye is so important. And now after the live, I'm going to go and send them the activation practice. So when we work on the level of the third eye, this is like it's called the control center of the entire human experience. When we work with it directly, we train the mind to be focused. And this is an important one, because else the mind is just kind of jumping here and there. We want the mind to be focused. Yeah, focused on where you're going, focused on your highest path. That's with the work of the third eye. That's what does that. And then we also want to bring clarity and this ability to see through the veils, because we get distracted by these karmic blocks, which are representing karmic tests. It's like a test. Are you going to buy into it and you're going to say, oh, okay, it means I'm not worthy of that. It means I'm not ready for it. It means I need to spend a lifetime healing myself. The trap of healing and being incapable of doing things because you think you have to wait until you're healed. But actually, another thing besides the practices is to act, to do things, to actually act. Because action is actually, the word karma is translated as action. So to meet karma and to transcend it, to move it, you need to act. You should not be sitting there indulging in your hopelessness, in your depression, in your apathy, in your I don't know and your doubts. You have to act. What to do? Not from the frantic place of the monkey mind running around, but from a place of clarity, from a place of knowing that wherever you're going to direct your full focus, it's going to blossom. That's why, again, we're coming back to the work of the third eye. So it's like, it's a work. Yeah, it's a dedication, because when you have something big, you need to understand that in order to fulfill this big destiny, you have to do big things. You have to commit in big ways. You have to put your heart on the line. But that's the only way how things work in life. If you're halfway, okay, I don't know, I heard about these practices and it seems like this is the stuff that can help me. But I'm a bit too busy, it's not the right time in my life, my kids are too small, I'm too all over the place. But that's exactly it. You need to get out of the hole wherever you are. If you know you are in a hole, and the hole may mean, for some people it's a complete breakdown, and for other people it's like, it's pretty good life compared to the rest of the world, and it can be really even an amazing life. But if inside of you, you know you came here for something so much bigger. I want to look you in the eyes as I say that. Even your soul, you know you came here for something bigger than what you're experiencing. It means you are in a hole. And it's on you to dig yourself out of it. No one's going to come and save you. No one's going to come. There's no divine intervention that's going to come and rescue you. You know, where is this divine intervention? It's you. You are the divine intervention, and you are the one to choose, to move, to act, to sign up for this thing that will change your life, to put yourself on the line. And actually, even signing up is not enough. That's what people are joking about the gym. They're like, well, I signed up for the gym, so it's good already, it's enough. But do you go to the gym? I thought if I signed up, that's already good enough. No, it's you. You are in the center of it. There's no magical mentor. There's no magical pill. There's no magical man who's gonna come. There's no magical that thing. that will come and change everything for you. No, it does not exist. It's on you. You have all the magical resources available to you here. I'm gonna tell you about the ones I have for you, and yet it's on you to act. And you can do it, and you can do it, and you can do it, because that's what you were born for. 100%. It's on you. You get to accelerate all these karmas. You get to burn it all. It's on you. So how we can do it together? There's something pretty amazing that I've created. There are different levels on which we can connect and on which we can meet, and the big new thing that I've created is called Sanctuary, and it's pretty ridiculous what it is. It's a way for us to work together consistently. Week after week, you are receiving activation practices from me. Now is an amazing time to step in, because now I've just landed all the content. It's just on Telegram. It's super convenient. You get to plug in at any time when it's convenient for you. Here comes the bell to celebrate that. Tom. Yes. So it's a space where you get to plug in every day and be guided by me into activation practices. And now we have entered the cycle of the third eye, where for 2 months there will be a really big acceleration of all these processes, of all these karmas that have been keeping you stuck, and a big activation of the clarity and the vision in your system. So right now there's an offer to join for a whole year for a special celebration price that we are just opening the container. So the whole year is $1,200, which just boils down to 100 a month. And you have this resource that will serve you as this sanctuary that will hold you. You can also just join a cycle. It's 333 per cycle, so for the 2 months. And there's also a community, a group of people that you will be really bonded with, really close with, that will support you to move through whatever you're moving through in your life. So this option is available until Thursday. So I've created this, like we're celebrating the equinox, and until Thursday, 6 p.m. Lisbon time, you can join for this ridiculous rate. So really happy to open the space for the global community and to support you in this way. Then, if you know you want this, but you also know that you want deeper support, where there's more connection, where there is a group that's going together, a smaller group that is going together through a process called In Service to Love. So it's this will be also a whole cycle, 2 months of this very deep program that helps you to bring forward your true path, your true calling, to unlock your dharma, to unlock your vision from the depth of you. So that's inside of the temple. It's happening right now during the cycle inside of the temple, and so Sanctuary is included into it, but then we are also meeting every 2 weeks live. There's also some additional touch points with me. There's this program that's running, and you go much further into the clarity and vision for your life. And already today I've sent them a message about how to prepare for this work, how to clear up your whole home and to align your home with who you are in truth, because your living environment really represents everything that's on the inside of you, and that's what's on the inside of you. It represents everything that's there in your life. And then there are some funny symbols popping. And so that's a deeper way to do this work. And then there is another way to work on an even deeper level, and this is for very special people who know that they want to facilitate this work. You know, you want to be a facilitator, and it's not something that I've presented much yet, but now I've created or transitioned the container that was the field. It has become the field facilitators training. So it also includes all of that, and then also specific way to work very closely, very intimately together, including some one-on-one work and deepening in your role as a facilitator. So that's what's new. There's also an in-person immersion that's coming up. So there's a lot of beautiful goodness that's going on in my field. There's this new vision, new clarity in my field that is also, the work that I am teaching is the work that I am doing. And I'm like, whenever I am in those dark points in my life, whenever it happened, what I remember is my own teachings. It's like I've been creating all of this for myself, for all of us, and for myself, and yeah, that's. I know it works. It just works. I'm so grateful for it. It literally feels like all the teachings that I've ever created, they are like pillars that are anchored, and they're getting anchored deeper and deeper and deeper the more you involve with them, the more you live this temple life. So I invite you to live the temple life, and if you know you want to be with us, now is an excellent moment to join. So if you need anything, feel free to comment, DM, and then we can chat, or myself or my team. Linda wants to join the temple, please do. Now is an amazing moment because tomorrow we are starting in Service to Love. Just now, after the live, I am going to send into the sanctuary for my entire community this practice on activating the third eye and clearing those karmic blocks and moving through karmic tests. When we are doing it together, we become unstoppable.